was really upset with how like things were going, especially like with wars and things like that. So I'm half Iraqi, and especially with the American and Iraq war and the conflict, I had a lot of feelings about that. Okay, so this one's titled, It's Time for a Revolution. Illuminati, Illuminati, whatever happened to Tupac's body? When you speak the truth, they believe that it is time for you to disappear. This comes from the same people who control our media, yet we don't listen. Because if we did, we would understand that there is something to fear. They call for a new world order. What happened to when we were once united? There was no such thing as a sovereign border. You see, nationalism is the underlying cause of war. Peace and understanding could save millions of lives, or maybe a little bit more. We have a flawed educational system here in the USA. If we thought a little more, we would understand that we are the only species that lives on Earth and has to pay. We sent soldiers to Iraq and they cut down my family's source of income, their olive tree. We are causing universal damage because when our American soldiers come back, they all have PTSD. Our minds are controlled. We are like lifeless toys. We give children guns so they are immediately men now, and it's time for us to say goodbye to these young boys. They say that this country is just and that it is free. So why is it that if I wore a hijab at the airport, they would randomly search me? They massage into our minds their own theories and their own beliefs. They are the same people who promote pig cops to becoming chiefs. Every president is a mere puppet for their cult. So wake up, people, because it's time for us to revolt.
Yeah.
So the next one I wrote, so I'm Muslim. I chose to become Muslim. I was raised Christian and Muslim, went to church and the mosque my whole life, but I became Muslim, and this poem kind of symbolizes why I became that way. And the only term that two terms you need to know that are in Arabic are Allah, which means God. It is just the Arabic translation for God, the oneness of God. It's not a separate God, it is just simply the definition of God. Also, in Islam, we say Salam Alaikum, which means peace be upon you. So, Salam essentially means peace. So those are two terms, Allah, God, and Salam, which means peace. Okay. Do you ever wonder how the Islamic faith spread? It was never by force, and it was way before inspirational talks like TED. Islam spread through the daily character of Muslim businessmen because they were so genuine, they were so honest. Some of the most influential and inspiring people that have ever lived were simple and were very modest. The Quran was revealed in a time when women were universally nothing. Families would even bury their newborn daughters. But the Prophet, peace be upon him, was so different because he loved and respected women. He was proud that it was a female who made him a father. The Prophet, peace be upon him, was asked, what constitutes a Muslim? Was it a person who fasts, goes to Hajj, or prays 5 times a day? He replied that those are all necessary, but a Muslim, it was someone who, when people would walk away from them, they would have something positive to say. When I opened up the Quran, I saw the truth, so I began to weep. And we all know that when we weep, it is filled with more intensity and pure emotions than when we simply cry. This religion is not based on